The Honourable Speaker, Sir, Honourable Prime Minister, Honourable Leader of the Opposition, and Honourable Members of Parliament. I rise today to provide an update to this August House on the Ministry's current developments in line with government deliverables and priorities. At the outset, I wish to acknowledge the tremendous work currently being undertaken by the men and women of the Fiji Police Force, supported by the Republic of Fiji Military Forces and other law enforcement and border agencies in ensuring the safety and security of all Fijians. Mr. Speaker, Sir, as you may be aware, or all aware, I recently issued a general policy direction to the Commissioner of Police on the national coordination of transnational serious organized crime and illicit drug enforcement in Fiji, together with the establishment and operations of the National Joint Enforcement Center. To date, Mr. Speaker, Sir, the Fiji Police Force and the RFMF joint operation have successfully seized a total of 47,042 marijuana plants from 93 farms in the Northern Division, in which a total of 22 persons were arrested. Doesn't mean that we are all bad in the North. 68 others arrested at roadblocks and other searches in the Central and Eastern Division for being in possession of methamphetamine, other illicit drugs, and proceeds of crime. Mr. Speaker, Sir, on a separate matter, independent police investigation into the death of Mr. Chone Wakarisi is active without any interference. Correspondingly, in accordance with the rules of evidence and prosecutional requirements, the investigation file relating to the death of Constable Peniasi Radangi has been returned to the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions for their necessary actions. I also wish to assure the people of Fiji that the Fiji Police Force remains fully in control of ongoing intelligence-led operations aimed at dismantling, disrupting, and destroying illicit drug networks and transnational organized criminal activities operating within our borders and maritime domain. I also wish to acknowledge the outstanding support provided by our international partners, particularly the Government of Australia, in assisting Fiji's law enforcement and security agencies in strengthening our national and regional response against transnational serious and organized crime. Mr. Speaker, Sir, Australia's partnership has been instrumental in supporting operational cooperation, intelligence sharing, capacity building, and regional coordination efforts, including support towards the successful convening of the Pacific Transnational Crime Summit and the inaugural Pacific Police Ministers meeting held recently in Nadi. Honourable Speaker, Sir, the inaugural Pacific Police Ministers meeting, PPMM, was held at Momi Bay on the margins of the Pacific Transnational Crime Summit, held from the 18th to the 22nd of May this year. At this juncture, I extend my sincerest gratitude to our partners, the Australian Government, for the assistance and support in facilitating a successful summit. The meeting, opened by our Honourable Prime Minister and jointly co-chaired by Fiji and Australia, brought together Pacific leaders, ministers, chiefs of police, and senior officials from across the Blue Pacific region. In line with the theme, Connected by Ocean, United in the Fight, The historic meeting recognized that transnational organized crime, particularly illicit drugs, maritime trafficking, cybercrime, and to name a few, now pose one of the most significant security challenges confronting our region, the Pacific region. To address these issues, the discussions focused on strengthening Pacific-led policing cooperation, intelligence-led operations, maritime coordination, regional interoperability, and the list goes on. As an outcome of the PPMM, it was recommended that an intelligence-led mechanism for coordinated maritime interdiction across the Pacific region be developed to strengthen Pacific-led collective action under the Pacific Islands Forum Transnational Organized Crime Disruption Strategy for 2024 to 2028. Honorable Speaker, sir, I'm also pleased to inform this House that ministers agreed to institutionalize the PPMM at the upcoming 55th Pacific Island Forum leaders meeting that will be held in Palau in August, which simply means that the Pacific Police ministers will be recognized and absorbed as part of the Pacific Island Forum architecture. The PPMM will serve as part of the broader peace and security pillar of the 2050 strategy for the Blue Pacific continent to strengthen regional coordination, oversight, and collective action against transnational organized crime. Honorable Speaker, sir, following on from the PPMM, the Pacific Police Chiefs, together with security experts, held the Transnational Crime Summit reinforcing that criminal syndicates are growing sophisticatedly in contributing to increased maritime and organized narcotics trafficking, cyber-enabled crime, to name a few. The summit also recognized that illicit drugs are no longer solely a law enforcement issue. They are increasingly impacting public health, youth, families, social stability, and community resilience across the region. There was strong support for integrated responses involving policing, health, social services, schools, faith-based organizations, civil societies, and communities. Honorable Speaker, sir, during the summit, Fiji also held important bilateral discussions with Australia's Minister for Home Affairs, the Honourable Tony Burke. These discussions further strengthened the Wawale partnership between Fiji and Australia in key security and communication sectors. In the area of cybersecurity, Australia expressed willingness to assist Fiji in the development of a critical infrastructure legislation, strengthening cybersecurity governance, cybercrime investigations, financial crime capability, and capacity building for the Fiji Police Force cyber and IT offices. Mr. Speaker, sir, Australia has also agreed to work closely with Fiji in identifying priority areas for capability enhancement within Fiji's cyber and digital security environment. In the area of maritime security, Mr. Speaker, sir, Australia agreed to support Fiji's efforts to strengthen maritime forward operating bases and enhance maritime patrol capability to better secure Fiji's territorial waters and maritime approaches. In the area of counter-narcotics, discussions recognize the growing nexus between maritime trafficking routes and illicit drug movements throughout the Pacific. Australia has committed to supporting Fiji in maritime interdiction capability, joint Fiji Police Force, Australia Federal Police operations, and specialized training opportunities for Fiji police officers. These outcomes, Mr. Speaker, sir, significantly strengthened Fiji's operational and strategic capability in responding to evolving transnational threats. Mr. Speaker, sir, if I may now turn to the dynamic efforts of the communication portfolio, the Ministry of the Ministry of Policing and Communication. Fiji's National Development Plan, NDP 2025-2029 and Vision 2050 places digital transformation at the core of its economic strategy. It leverages robust digital infrastructure to boost micro, small, and medium enterprises, grow e-commerce, and drive exports. Mr. Speaker, sir, building on from the NDP, the National Digital Strategy 2025 to 2030, which was launched last year, materialized our vision for a digital economy. Since then, the Digital Government Transformation Office, the GTO, and Department of Communication have progressed the following: deployment of 5G nationally and supported Google's 200 million submarine cables and green ICT facility that has been built. 2, completed Fiji's national privacy and personal data protection policy, which is aligned to international recognized standards. 3, established the National Computer Emergency Response Team, or CERT. 4, progress the National ID program jointly with the Reserve Bank of Fiji. Final stages of the whole of government service mapping for the government digitalization program is also included. Last and not least, continuing to develop digital Fiji services using new and emerging technologies and supporting government entities in their digital transformation efforts. Honorable Speaker, sir, in addition to the ongoing efforts for a digital economy, the Telecommunication Authority of Fiji, TEF, have contracted Digital Fiji to connect underserved communities across Fiji, whilst Telecom Fiji, TFL, and Vodafone Fiji Limited have been contracted to expand telecommunication infrastructure to the rural and maritime areas through solar-driven Starlink sets. The contract forms part of government's Universal Service Scheme, or USS, which is financed through the Universal Service Access Funds. Mr. Speaker, sir, as I speak, the work is progressing, and to date, a total of 38 sites are connected, and TAF is already working on the phase 2 sites that need to be connected. Honorable Speaker, sir, implementation of the National Cybersecurity and Resilience Strategy, NCRS 2026 to 2031, remains a national priority. The strategy provides the overarching framework that sets Government of Fiji's vision for protecting and safeguarding our nation and community cyberspace. Mr. Speaker, sir, the strategy was launched alongside an action plan which details the specific initiatives, time frames for ministries, agencies, and entities responsible for delivery, ensuring our vision is translated into meaningful and measurable action. Mr. Speaker, sir, some of the key achievements include, if I may mention, 1, the launch of the National Cyber Website. 2, implementation of Fiji government cyber drills. 3, becoming a signatory to the UN Convention on Cybercrime. Mr. Speaker, sir, all this work will not be achievable unless we have the right legislation to implement. Therefore, the legal reform work currently being undertaken includes the following: Telecommunications Act 2008, the review of the Online Safety Act 2018, the development of Fiji's first data protection law that is aligned to the international standards, work on amending Fiji's Cybercrime Act 2021 to align our international commitments on the second additional protocol to the Budapest Convention and the UN Convention Against Cybercrime. Mr. Speaker, sir, moving forward, under this government, Fiji's strategic direction is very clear. The threats confronting Fiji and the Pacific are increasingly transnational and interconnected. Accordingly, our response must also be integrated, intelligence-led, and whole-of-nation in approach. Fiji's response to transnational serious organized crime is strong in terms of, one, the Fiji Police Bill 2026, which we hope we will table this Thursday. Two, the establishment of the Counter Narcotics Bureau, also include the Counter Narcotic Bill, which is also in process. Three, maritime security coordination with the Maritime Essential Service Center. Four, invigoration and expansion of the Nduawata community policing structures. Strengthening of cybersecurity and resilience. Last and not least, strengthening of regional operational partnership. Mr. Speaker, sir, our Pacific leaders endorsed the Blue Pacific Ocean of Peace Declaration under the leadership of our Prime Minister. The vision reminds us that our ocean must never become a corridor for criminal exploitation, but remain a source of peace, security, prosperity, and shared regional identity for our peoples. The Pacific Ocean connects us, and it demands that we protect it together. Honorable Speaker, sir, I thank this august House for the opportunity to deliver a ministerial statement. Ioane Naivalurua.